If you are interested in creating an online portfolio or redeveloping an existing portfolio, this video is for you. If you're creating your own self-titled website or want to learn how to do this video is a great place to start. Hello and welcome. My name is Diette and thank you for watching my video. I'm going to walk you through the process of what I'm doing right now as I redevelop my own WordPress portfolio. I realize this video is quite a bit longer than my others, but I would like to wager cling to hope that you will find it interesting enough to stick around to the end. Today, I'm going to review and critique my current online portfolio, research current artist website advice, share some of my own website knowledge, create a mood board design, and give you an overview of all the tools I'm working with. So if you want to follow along with me, you can.
I kind of like that actually. Oh, there's a little bunny's foot up here. This hand covers.
He sits right up there.
He's so cute.
Oh, that's fun. Oh shit, that gives me ideas, man. I should pull out my puppets. Oh, I'll get there. So many things to do. Yes, I have puppets. That's a whole nother subject though. It's a bit of an intro to this. I need to work on my own website, my own artist website. So right now what I have in there is dated. It's a few years old now and I want to update it. Start working on my branding a little bit and also the project phase that I'm in right now. I want to get some sort of campaign or like a branding for it, define what it is that I'm doing. And what prompted this was I was watching YouTube, and I should pull that up so you can see that as well. So hang on here. This is a really informative and very valuable information within all of these videos that are here in regards to art and the business of art and pretty much everything that has to do with art and money. As the title of the channel is, The Art and Money Talk by Very Private Gallery.
Number one thing you need to take care is your photo gallery is the essential part. That's why you want to make an artist website, right? And then you compress the images because nowadays people don't have patience. If your website don't load within like 0.00001 second, they will just click away, and that is really bad for your bounce rate. Finally, people don't see your works because they take too long to load. That is not a very good strategy, so make sure they're compressed well to show on the browser, on a mobile phone with very low internet connection. And then you put the description, you put the title, the size, the price if you wish, and add information, the metadata onto those images so that your customers can see, can decide if they want to purchase this piece of work or not. The second part is your About Me page or artist bio, art statement, whatever, like basically all this text about your art, about yourself goes into this section. And you can. The third part is the contact page. And normally an artist would like to show the email, the studio address, or even home address if you have a home studio, and your contact phone number. I would say totally don't show your information on the web because nowadays there are a lot of scammers. They would just go through the website with robots, harvest your personal information, your privacy, and then they will send you a lot of phishing emails, and your inbox will be filled with very unpleasant junks that you don't want. So make sure you integrate a contact us page. Number 4, emailing lists. Emailing list is a great way to promote your art, to keep in contact with your past collectors, to turn your potential customers into your loyal fans, and then send them customized newsletters, talk to them about different offerings, different new works, upcoming events, so that you can keep in touch with people in your community and start getting people to come back to your website to buy your works. Number 5, blog. My suggestion is to always have a blog, you can do what is called a micro blogging, which is basically blogging without blogging. If you have a tweet or Instagram post or Facebook post, you just transcribe, you just take the content and then drop it into your micro blog. This way you're blogging without having to dedicate extra time to writing your blogs. Number 6, social media links. And this is the easiest part. Add different social media icons, maybe LinkedIn, maybe Pinterest, maybe DeviantArt, and depending on what social media you use, just make sure you link everything to your website so people can stay connected across different platforms. Number 7, web store. Have a e-commerce integrated into your website. You can sell digital download. You can sell private content like Patreon. You can sell donations, just like donate me money, like pay me coffee, right? So integrate e-commerce component. And you can also sell hoodies on print on demand, directly ship to your customers. So this is completely passive income as an artist. Sell art courses. If you don't give other people this option, even they want to support you, even they want to pay you money, you will never know. So finally, you don't know what kind of products sell better and if you will be able to make a living as an artist or not if you don't try. Of course, you can add different things. You can add a forum. You can add a community. You can add streaming or different kind of vlog, video libraries.
I highly recommend this. I think I am going to do a little feature on my own blog or my website for highlighting like what inspires me to do the stuff that I do. I need to write about my work, obviously. This is all part of the process. These are part of the steps that I take to trying to figure out where to go, what to do, and how to start, and what I need to be working on, when I need to be working on it, because I would like to, ideally begin making some sort of an income from this. What I've decided to do today is to actually show you what I do when I begin creating my website or start working on my web portfolio. I am a WordPress developer, so that is the platform I work with. If any of you are interested in WordPress and how to do this yourself, I'm going to call this like a bit of a walkthrough as what I do as a developer when I'm creating my own website, my own theme, or a client's theme. It's time consuming. I mean, it's because you're even more critical with your own website. I don't even know what my current website is right now. Maybe I should pull that up. Like, I do know what it is, but I don't know all of the pieces. My internet is slow, but that's probably because I'm running everything right now at this time. So I am going to have to optimize this as well. This is dated. It's a couple years old now. I don't know, it's pretty cool, but it's actually not too bad, is it? This really isn't too bad, is it? See, looking at it this way, it's not that bad at all. Okay. Now I'm second guessing what I want to change, because I was just gonna rip it out and redo it completely. I think I like this half and half idea. But I don't know if I really want it to be like a big old picture of me. I like how you hover over it too, and there's kind of this, it goes from black and white to color. That's just bells and whistles though, so I have to concentrate on fundamentally what I wanted to change. So I do have a subscriber list. I didn't even know I had this. It must be connected to something. Oh man. Okay, what does my contact do? It opens up the email. Okay, so I definitely have to change this because this is just asking for trouble the way it's set up. Oh, see, I don't mind this for the menu. I don't need to have like an entire menu listed out. It can be hidden, that's fine. Oh, it's down here. Yeah, see? That's strange. That needs to sit on top of the image. Like, this is scaling quite nicely. I don't know how well this would pass on I've got errors in this. As an AODA specialist, I need to make sure that there are no errors on my own website, because that's actually slightly embarrassing, to be honest. But I mean, that's what I get for not updating my site. So what I just did there was I tested for AODA compliance. I'm trying to look at myself. I was using Wave, which is an add-on for Firefox, and that just kind of does this sort of quick analysis to let you know what errors are on this particular page, what will like absolutely not pass and need to be fixed. Those are the errors. Sometimes there's quite a few alerts, which the alerts mean, yeah, you know what, these are bad, you shouldn't have them this way, but it's still going to pass. Those things will likely become enforced down the road. If you live in Ontario and own a website, it is important to understand this law because it applies to you now. If you own a website anywhere in the world, the following is just as important for you to understand because it will likely apply to you in the near future. I'm sure you've heard these terms before. W3C, Web Accessibility, Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG. So what does it mean? This is the rulebook of how to ensure your website is 100% inclusive to your users. Following this guidebook to the letter will ensure that no matter what device your website is viewed on, the end user will have the same experience with your content as everyone else. This guide is massive, so I'm going to try and summarize it as best I can because you need to know this information if you don't already. Let's have a look at this site. W3 Schools. HTML is the language of every web page. It's fairly simple to understand the concept at the very least. Button, form, table, article, heading, etc. Semantics. It's important to point out that this is always how HTML has been structured since its inception. However, over time and because of design, the div, which you can see right here, has been replacing the use of semantic markup. It's also abusively used for layout design purposes in cases where adding CSS, which is styling, is sufficient. Divs denote that whatever sits in between here could be anything. The device that is reading that information cannot put this into any context. Headings have hierarchy. It is the same if you are writing a document. You need to understand these rules. H1 is your page's title and is always the first heading to appear on the page. There is only one H1 per page. Pages are divided into sections. These are H2s. Sometimes you need to break each section down further. An H3 is always read as a subheading of an H2. A heading is always used as a title which pertains to the content that sits below it. Keep in mind this has nothing to do with the size or style of the font. Alternative text for images. Describe all your images. Be concise and efficient. Proper link text. I see this all the time and it's very difficult for designers to adapt. You need to be descriptive within your links, explaining what the link is linking to. Now that you understand a few of these core HTML principles, you should be able to critically evaluate your own website to see if it breaks any of these rules. Guess what? Nearly every site does, and these are just the basics. These are also the changes that can have some of the greatest impact on how accessible your website is overall. This is a global, international guideline for all websites. This is beginning to roll out in phases to different regions across the world. In Ontario, it is already law that we must comply to a subset of rules outlined in the WCAG guideline, which is found here. Be aware, I am showing you the official information from ontario.ca on AODA. There are companies out there that present their services under the guise as official AODA documentation. But these here are the current regulations that we must abide by in Ontario. If you scroll down, this is where you can find exactly the excerpts from the WCAG that we need to abide by. But don't panic, I will walk you through this as we go. So I was just checking my site to make sure to see how I rate. Like I said, that's embarrassing, but it's simple fix. I feel like this is really small. I'm not too worried about the amount of text. I really kind of like this, but I think it's way too small. Like, I'm having a hard time seeing it from here. Retina 5K. There's just a fly buzzing around. I hope you can't see that.
Don't make fun of my flies.
Alright, so I don't know if I like this font for the main text. And I think I'm ready to change the font for my name. I think I am just going to go ahead and start fresh and see how much of this ends up coming with it. Because there are components to this that I like. And I still think it kind of stands out. It's quite different from some of the other sites that, at least that I've seen, but I think it needs a little bit more work. And I need to review the text again because this was written so long ago that I don't even know what it says without reading it again. Oh, I do like that catch. I mean, that's really what this is all about, isn't it? That I'm taking you with me on a journey. Yeah, I do like this. I don't know if I like the way this is worded. This Canadian artist would sound much better. Embark, let me write that down. Embark on a journey with this Canadian artist. I like that better than this, but I still don't like the way that's worded. It sounds like I'm too removed from it because I'm talking to myself in a third person, so I don't think that, like, maybe if I do like this Canadian artist, embark on a journey with this Canadian artist. I don't know, that could be fun too. We'll see. Right, so I'm going to start brand new. I'm going to use part of this as my template. I want to open up a Photoshop or just whatever drawing program you work from, whatever is easiest for you digitally to mock up. I don't, whatever you have. I was just going to say, I don't care if it's Word or whatever, but just don't tell me that you did it that way. There's all different kinds of software that can help you with this. I just need the white space and sort of to cut and paste stuff together so I have some sort of visual to work from. I think the first thing was to try and figure out my banner. That's the main thing, is like this top piece. Like this is this area of my website I need to nail. So we'll start with black. I like black, but at the same time I've been trying to switch over to white. Like, I'm trying to think of what works better because I want the artwork to shine, right? So it's either going to be black or it's going to be white or it's going to be gray. Maybe that charcoal color that's already on the site. So if I go to here, it's not actually black. It is, let's see, there's my color. I'm gonna copy that. So right here I was just deciding whether or not to go with a, I like the condensed font because this is the type of font that I want to use for my headings. And the font that I'll likely use for YouTube, the cover art, I want to use a condensed font because you can fit more. Headings are best served when they are condensed because especially when you get into clients who have blogs and their blog titles go on and on and on, it takes up a lot of space in those little excerpts. And when you're used to always just filling that with lorem ipsum titles, right? It's always the same length of title. That's not the reality of how those titles generally look once the client is in there and creating their content. So using a condensed font versus a font that sits much wider, it takes up too much space in comparison to the excerpt. It just kind of starts to look like you're overall just shouting at the user because headings are taking up so much real estate using those larger wider styled fonts. Turning that font into all caps, it makes it even wider, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize too. That's another reason why it's really bad to have your headings in all caps, because it does take up more space across the line just in general.
Let's go. Let's go.
My portfolio is constantly under development, so this project is gonna take months. If you're interested in building a site along with me, don't feel pressured to rush through this. Enjoy the process. Today, I demonstrated the initial steps to get started on building my portfolio. Here's your homework. Research current advice on what should be included in your website/portfolio based on your area of interest. Seek out professionals in the industry. Critique what you already have, whether it's an existing site or content that you already know you want to include. Create a mood board/design. Keep it simple. Define the fonts, color scheme. Start with the site logo or the site title. In my case, I wanted the artwork to appear in full color, so my site's theme elements will all be in grayscale. But don't let that stop you from choosing a color to include in your branding. Set up your tools to prepare for building the site. This is what I'm using. Note that these are all free to download. Local by Flywheel. This is software to run the website locally on your computer as a local server. There are other tools like WAMP and MAMP, but I prefer to work with local. Visual Studio Code. This is the code editing software that I primarily work with. There are others, like Sublime is very popular. It's really up to you what you feel most comfortable using to edit your code. Install Wave on your primary browser. This is an extension. I personally prefer using Firefox over Chrome when developing, but you should have both Firefox and Chrome, Safari too if you're using a Mac, installed on your computer to cross-browser check. In the next video of this series, I will provide a walkthrough of how to build a WordPress website on your local computer using these tools.
I won!
You're still here. For my prize, I would love for you to leave a comment and let me know if you could create any type of website for yourself, what would it be about? I'm curious to know what interests you have. See you next time, and thanks for watching.